y'all, it's Zoe and welcome back to another video on my channel. So today I'm talking about another one of my adoption related feelings. So if you haven't heard already, recently, as in yesterday, May 31st, the Chinese government lifted the two-child policy, which used to be the one-child policy, and turned it into a three-child policy. This has, started up a bunch of different reactions from people all over the country of, ways for them to implement this, including, compensating for adding extra children, the discrimination against pregnant women in the workforce, and all this other in-country stuff that they're going to have to deal with that people are worried about. But that wasn't really the point of this video, to, dissect all of those little parts of it. I wanted to make this video because I'm a Chinese adoptee, and I was most likely adopted because of the one-child policy, and so I just kind of wanted to talk about my feelings about this new policy. So that's kind of what this video is. So, like I said just now, I was most likely affected by the one-child policy, as were probably all of my friends, including my sister too, because it didn't turn into a two-child policy until maybe 2015, 2016. And it just makes me, don't get me wrong, I'm happy that parents can have more than one kid now. I'm happy for kids who can grow up with siblings and, not have it be a penalty, and then have to pay these government fees to have more kids. I'm definitely happy that we're able to have more kids now, especially to fix, one, the population drop, and two, the boy-girl ratio, because what's happening now, because so many girls are gone, is that there are all of these single men who can't get married because there aren't enough women. So I am happy that there are going to be some good parts to it. Obviously there's going to be bad parts, and there's a lot that they still have to figure out with this new policy, but I think for me it's a lot of mixed emotions. I'm happy, but I'm also sad. I love being adopted and I wouldn't change that at all. I love who I am and I love where I'm at now in my life and all the opportunities I've had and the life experiences I've had that I wouldn't get to have if I were over there. But at the same time, it's also there's a small part of me that's always going to be missing. I'm not going to know anything about myself. That's one reason why I started the birth parent search in that video that I made, is to try to figure out more of who I am and where I come from, and part of my history. And that's going to be something I'm never going to be able to figure out. I mean, birth parent searches aren't always perfect. And even if I do have one and it's successful, I still will probably feel a small part of me is missing because I never grew up with that part of who I am. I never grew up speaking Chinese. I didn't grow up with all the traditions and the culture surrounding Chinese culture, the whole familial aspect of the Confucianism beliefs, and then just being more communal society of sharing meals with each other and always eating family style and all of these ways. And I am very happy to be in the US and to have all of these opportunities and access to things and rights that I won't have over there. And I really do how we're much more progressive and more accepting of more non-conservative things, of course. There are parts I love about the US and there are parts I don't love about the US, but I guess just for me, it's knowing that if I were to be if I wasn't born until now, I could still be in China and I could grow up with Chinese siblings and grow up with people who look like me. And I probably do have siblings out there because since I was born a girl, I will most likely have siblings. Probably a brother, maybe a sister. So I don't know, it's just really difficult to think about I wouldn't change anything in my life, but also not being born now made me miss out on all this stuff that I could have had that I could still, parts of me could fit, and there's so many things I don't know about myself, not just physically and medically, but just my story and, you know, those family tree projects in school, I always did them with my adoptive family, but I don't know anything about my family tree. And just like growing up, you know, people would always ask me, oh, can you speak Chinese? Oh, can you read this for me? Oh, can you understand this? And it gets kind of annoying at some points because it's like, well, if it was my native language, I might be able to. And like my Chinese is definitely getting better, and I'm trying to become more fluent, but it's hard to become fluent in another language. And like, I don't know. It's just a lot of mixed emotions, and like I'm really happy for the progress, and I'm not saying I wish I wasn't here and I didn't have the family and friends that I have now, but it's just a really weird thing to think about. So it's kind of hard to put into words what I'm feeling, which is why I haven't really been saying much. And it's okay, well, that's not a lie. I've been talking for like 6 minutes, but that's why I kind of sound like a broken record. It's because I don't really know how to put it. So if there are any adoptees out there listening that want to share their insights and thoughts, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, it's mostly just a sense of like happiness, but also sadness. Like sadness for the birth parents who missed out on watching their children grow up because they had to give them up because they couldn't afford to pay the fee. And then like sadness for all the millions of adoptees that were adopted around the world that never got the chance to stay in China and meet their families and grow up with people and that look like them and can speak their language and know their home culture. And it's just a lot of different random emotions, but I can't really do much about it, and the situation just is what it is. I'm definitely going to be interested to see how the government handles this, especially with all of the little tiny issues they have within the country, like with, you know, education and housing and pregnant women discrimination and all this other stuff. But I think it's a step in the right direction. I don't really know. I don't know much about Chinese politics, but to all those Chinese adoptees out there listening who were affected by the one-child policy, I'm with you. I understand you. We're all in this together. And I don't know. I guess we'll just see how things turn out. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been feeling lately, is just like a sense of happiness and sadness. Not really much anger. It's mostly just sadness. Like sad that I'm getting to miss out on these things, and like almost a tiny bit of jealousy, I think, because like people born now won't be affected by the one-child policy. I don't know. I really don't know. It's just a mix of emotions that are hard to put into words. So, yeah. Well, thanks for listening to the words that I did have, for those of you that watched this video. And I will see you all in the next video, I guess. Bye!